And we're live. Hey guys, welcome to the Tuned In stream. Thanks for tuning in, and Zodiax here. Well, I'm Cody, but I'm also known as Zodiax here to do a special episode today. Hopefully, I'll be able to do something really fun here and something really cool. So, sorry that I haven't been streaming for the last couple of weeks. We also did that one stream where Live, Gray, and me were all together talking about ourselves, actually, and that was actually really cool. It was a lot of fun, but we kind of goofed on the audio there, so sorry about that. But anyway, so I have actually been working on some new music lately. It's not my best stuff, I don't think, at least personally, but I do like it to a point, and it's, might as well show it to you. So today, well, actually, I'll just show you the music first, and then we'll go from there, okay? Hope you guys enjoy. First song is Slowly by me. And that was Slowly by me, Zodiax. Alright, I hope you guys like that one. That one was pretty cool. Then the next song I have to show you, it's called Electromagnetic. It's a pretty exciting song, I think. It's got some pretty cool sounds, and I had some pretty interesting things going on in there. But I guess I hit kind of a roadblock with the song, and I couldn't really finish it up. But anyway, you guys go ahead and have a listen, and hopefully you enjoy. And that's my new song, Electromagnetic. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And without further ado, let us go ahead and begin the show. So guys, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully, I got kind of a funner episode planned out, so maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't, but we'll see. So the method of sampling actually I'm going to show today is actually different from the one you saw if you saw our previous episode. The sampling method I'm going to use is called slicing, or slicing basically. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to, slice all of the song I'm going to sample, and then from there what it'll do is it'll actually assign it to the keyboard where we can play each note separately. Now there's an easy way to do it and there's a really, really hard way to do it. The hard way to do it generally can actually get you much cleaner and much better results, but the easy way is a lot faster, and I think I'm going to use the easy way. And since I am deciding to do it the easy way, I'll go ahead and show you guys quickly how to do that. And, well, I had to be kind of specific with the song because the easy way only works for specific types of songs. Mainly, it only works for single instrumentals or, very light sounding samples, like a piano solo or maybe like a violin solo. But generally, it doesn't really work with very heavy sounding songs or very strong songs or even offbeat songs like a 3/3 orchestra or something along those lines. Also, too, if there is anyone watching right now, go ahead and let me know. I did change the orientation of my mic, and I also changed the settings of my sound. So, let me know if you like the way it sounds, if my voice is a little bit more clear, and try to make sure that my mic quality's been, just a tiny bit better this time around. And also, too, again, sorry that I haven't been streaming lately. I have been busy for the past couple of weeks, mainly because I was house sitting, so I wasn't even home, at my computer, so I couldn't even make music. So anyway, I'm back home now, and I am going to make some music. Again, I decided to put out our email down in the description of the video, so if you guys have any questions or have any topics you want us to try to do, go ahead and send that to us. And again, E3 hype. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm actually a huge Zelda fan. And so, I don't know, it was kind of disappointing for me personally to hear that Nintendo is mainly going to only have one game to show, and that's the new Zelda game. And I do have a Wii U, so I'm going to be able to see what that's like, at least if I decide to get it for the Wii U. But, if I have the money at the time, maybe I'll get it for the NX instead, who knows. In fact, we don't even know what that is. But I'm getting ahead of myself there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the sample. The song I decided to sample today is Princess Zelda's theme from The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring up my Edison, good old Edison right here. And then I'm going to grab my sample. You guys can't see this right now because it's on my other monitor. But I'm going to drag it over and drop it right in Edison like that. Boom. And now here's our sound sample. Okay? And now what I'm going to do here is, well, I'm just going to play the song so you guys can hear it. I'm going to also change it to full screen so you guys get the full view of FL Studio and don't have to stare at my face. Alright? Alright, so let's go ahead and play the sample real quick and so you guys can get an idea of what we'll be working with today. Alright, and that's the sample. So, I really like Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess was a great game. I also really like Skyward Sword too. I know a lot of people talked a lot of shit on that game. Granted, it didn't look as good as it could have, and, the motion controls were give or take for a lot of people, but it was still a fun game and I really enjoyed it. Anyway, let's go ahead and start. This is how we're going to do it now. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to try to cut out some of this extra air, just to kind of take out some of the gaps in the beginning of the song. So just highlight it, and then I'm going to cut it out by clicking this button and cut. Okay, now we have just the track, no extra air. Now the hard way is what we do is you click on this little button right here, this little ABC button, and then we're going to go to Auto Slice. And I'm going to do medium grid slicing. So what that does is it's literally just going to slice it in a very even spot every single time. The other way to do it is literally you go here and you click add region, and then my apologies. Maybe that's not, right here. You click on this button right here, add marker. It says, as you can see it on the top left, add remove marker region, whatever. So you go ahead and click here, and then what you can do is you can actually set specifically where you want each key that's going to be placed in what you want to do. So for example, there's marker 1, and then I'm going to move this over here, that, and then click on it again. Oops, marker 1, move that over here, click again, that's marker 2. So basically right here, this is going to be its own key, this little section from marker 1 to marker 2. So if I play this, when I place this in my slice X, which I'll be showing you later, it'll actually only play that, and it'll assign this, actually only this part, to a keyboard. So if you have a keyboard, and of course the digital keyboard too with the software, you'll actually be able to just play that, and it'll only play that section when you press that keyboard. So this is the slicing method. But I'm not going to do this, because good God, that would take fucking forever. And so what I'm going to do is Control Z, Alt Z, just redo all that. And since I did pick this song specifically for a reason, there was other songs that I wanted to try, but after listening to them and actually playing around with them, because I did actually play around this melody specifically a little bit just to make sure that I'd be able to show this properly, or just so that the show wouldn't be an absolute failure going in blind, because, you know, that's not always a good idea. So I'm going to go right here, click on the ABC button, auto slice, medium grid slicing. My bad. So I have only that section highlighted, so of course it's only going to do that. We're going to do this. Just deselect the whole song, medium grid slicing, and it should slice the whole song. If I zoom out using my mouse wheel, you should see the whole song has been sliced evenly and like basically almost perfectly, just exactly even out squares, which can lead to some inconsistency, so we will have to play around with the note sets a little bit that they sample to. Alright, and I also did go ahead and add a limiter here on my master track, because I realized that actually I've been forgetting to add a limiter, and I never forget this. I don't know why, but every time I've been streaming, I'm forgetting to add the limiter. And I raised the gain a little bit just to increase the volume of the whole song. I think it's just because I got used to it, but generally, some people like to master the song first and then raise the gain and the volume up and then try to like hit that level where they're not peaking anymore above this green line, which is at 0, 0. But I actually prefer to have the volume up loud first and then mix down. Some people like to mix up, I like to mix down, and that's actually just a preference thing, you know. Go ahead and try it out. FL Studio will generally start, at least this version does. I'm not sure if number 12 does or not yet, which I still haven't gotten yet. Maybe in the future. Sorry guys. But so from here, FL Studio actually starts with a limiter, at least this one. This is FL Studio 11. It starts with the mixer and actually has the gain already up. I raised it up to about 3.5. Let's just raise that up to 4 actually, just make it a nice even number. And from there, what it does is it just raises the whole volume of the song as it's being played. And, you know, some people prefer to have that at 0. So if I pull that down to have 0, so basically no enhancements, it's not, the volume's not being raised at all. But I'm going to put this up to 4, and because I prefer mixing down my songs rather than mixing up. And again, that's just preference. But anyway. So now we have this all set up, right? We got all the slices ready. So I'm going to go right here. This is just my sampler. It's just literally just an empty box to make sure the pattern bar is still there when we open up a new file. We're going to insert. We're going to insert slice X. So slice X is basically the slice sampling native software built into FL Studio. It's not bad. I specifically don't work solely with it, and if you don't like using Edison, you can actually use Slice X instead to get your slices. But what we're going to do is here, we're going to click this little button right here, drag the sample, hold your mouse button, and drop it right in there. And boom. Now we have our whole sliced up sample all done and set up right here. So right here, it's basically what it does is it'll just play it, and so basically the sample doesn't all the way clean on an even note, but that's okay. So it goes up to here, and then it goes to the next one, next part. So if it plays smoothly like that, it'll just keep going. But of course, we're sampling, so it doesn't really matter if it's playing smoothly or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that. And I messed up there. Send this out a little bit again. And so from here, I think I'm going to change it to 135 just to make it a little bit slower since the sample is a little bit slower. And from here, as you can see, we have all our markers right here. So these are all of the slices of every little bar. So if I click here, that's slice 1. Click here, slice 21. Let's go a little further. Slice 62. And there you go, see, it's all sliced up, everything's been separated, and this is the slicing method that you can also use for sampling. Some people prefer this, especially people who use the drum pads. Those are really cool. I wish I had a drum pad, but, you know, that's neither here or there. Anyway, so what they can do is they assign different samples to different drum pads, and they just tap the drum pads, and it kind of makes the song they want, and that's really cool. But I don't have one of those, so I'm doing this the painstakingly digital way, which is click my shit in there. Anyway, so let's go ahead and start this. Go ahead and start this at 4 bars. And we'll see how that sounds. Mine doesn't even make it that far, so we'll do 2 bars. Yeah, that's not a bad start. So basically from here, literally, I'm just placing the notes in, and I'm letting it play at the sample. So let's see how this sounds. Alright, so that's my first pattern. That's actually not a bad pattern at all. So I'm going to go and put that in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a drum, because sometimes the pattern sounds really good when you slice it up like that, but I always like to add a drum first just to make sure it sounds good, because sometimes, because remember, when you actually slice it, it does not change the tempo of the sample. The sample will play exactly at the tempo that it was sliced at. So whatever the song, this sample, you know, whatever tempo this song is in, it's going to play at that tempo in the slices, regardless of what I have up here set. So I'm going to set at 135. I don't know. The song could be at 120. The song could be at like 60. The song could be at 70. I don't even know. You know, I could check, but I'm not going to, because I ain't got time for that shit. But what we're going to do is just kind of play it out, because that actually sounds pretty nice and clean right now when I play it. So we'll hear it again. So it's got kind of a nice rhythm there, a nice little melody. So let's go ahead and add some drums. So I'm going to use those vibe kits that Gray sent to me, or Zach, however you guys prefer to call him. I actually don't like most of the instruments. I'll use that hat volume. And then there's a rim shot here I really liked. I think would match. Is it this one? Maybe. That might be a good one. That might be okay. Let's see. Yeah, that might be okay. Rim 45. So that's a rim snare. It's a little bit loud, so I'm going to turn down the volume on that a little bit. Because I want, based on the way this instrumental already sounds, I want more of a clicky kind of sound for that. You know, just a kind of sound. So when it plays. And let's see, the next one we gotta add, of course, we gotta add a kick, right? Go with KW drums. And let's check what there are. Okay, never mind. We're not gonna go with those drums. I'm looking for more of a thumpy drum, just a poof kind of sound. And so let's see what else we got. Let's go to 3-Trap Kit Volume 2. Man, I don't know why I don't have Volume 1. That sucks. But anyway. Let's go ahead and grab... That might be okay. That might be better. What the hell kind of kick is that? Ugh. Not that many kicks here, but okay, I'm gonna try one of these. Either one of these kicks will be the winning kick. So let's go ahead and right click here, add a new pattern. Since I am at 135, which is double time, so technically I'm at, what, 72.5 BPM? If my mathing is correct. Go ahead and start with that. So let's see, we'll start with the snare first. Right here. That actually sounds off already, so that means the instrumental is moving too slow for this tempo I have. So let's go and hear that again. Let me add a couple kicks in just to make sure. Okay, yeah, the instrumental's moving too slow. So I'm actually gonna change this then. Moving too slow. Maybe... Actually, you know what? Maybe I can actually just do this at 1 count. Let's go and try that. Maybe that'll work. Hold on. Oh, actually, that works pretty well. Let me try that. Let me extend that out so we can hear that again. That actually sounds okay. Let's go with that. Okay. So I am going to extend this out though, so let's go ahead and work on this little slicing sample here right quick. So we got 1, 1, 1, 3. I just like the way it sounded, listening to the notes, because it goes up, 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 and then down. And of course, you know, it doesn't really work like a regular piano, but anyway. Let's go ahead and set this up. So 1. I think the way I want to do this, maybe we'll extend this out right here. And then at the very end, we'll have a change up, so it'll go boom, boom. I don't know, boom, and maybe let's see. Try that. That sounds okay. Maybe it would be better like this. So it goes up and then it goes down again, which would be... We can try 13. We'll try 13 first and then we'll go down to 12 if that doesn't work. Because that little doo-doo sound, it actually might match, but let's give it a try. Sounds okay. Let's go ahead and see with the drum, see what it sounds like. That's alright. Actually, that's pretty cool. Let's try 12 just to make sure, see which one I like better. Mad Gamer's in, he says, cool shit, bro. Just say thanks. Glad you like it. I don't know which one I like more. I think I like 12 a little bit more, actually, than 13. So, we'll go with 12 for now. Maybe I'll change it. I don't know. But we'll go ahead and go with that. So, right now we got a basic drum pattern. Right here. I'm going to slightly pan the drum to the right by like 15%. Then we're going to change the swing to 25%. Just to give the song a little bit of swing, you know? I'll probably change those hi-hats later, but that's good enough for now. Anyway, I'm probably going to put these on their own separate tracks, or their own separate mixers, but, you know, for now, I'll just leave them as is. So, let's go ahead and hear that again. Alright, and then let's work on the next section then, because I think there should be a change up here, so let's go ahead and see where the next goes in. So literally I'm just going to a new pattern, and I'm just working on the same instrument, but on a different pattern. And of course we're going to work at different slices. So if I remember correctly when we heard it, like a bell comes in eventually at some point. Okay, so a bell does come in at that point. I kind of want some of that bell in there, so let's go ahead and add that in. Let's see. So this is when that part's ending. We'll just do kind of the same approach we did last time. I mean, that's alright. I kind of want to differentiate it though. Let's see if we got a different one here that we can work with. Oh, that sounds really, really good. Let's do that again. Alright, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the one for this next part. I'm pretty sure we have one that sounds like that too on the lower section. Yeah, right there. But you know what, it actually would be better to differentiate them, because the first one sounds pretty good too, so I'm gonna make this one differentiate itself, just so that, you know, well, it's differentiated. What was that? That was 23, right? Alright, so let's see, let's kinda add some more change-ups here. Okay, we'll go that, do, and then maybe we should make it go up. Oh, those are exactly the same. 15 and 22 are the same exact slice. Actually, the string swell up a little bit. Maybe I should use 22 instead then. We'll use 22. 2. Try that. That's alright. Maybe if I change this one. Not quite. Try this instead, we'll lower this one. That's alright. Let's go ahead and just hear it with the drums now. Let's go ahead and hear how the song sounds. This actually sounded pretty good. Let's go ahead and actually change this a little bit too. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and assign this to its own mixer track. This is the Princess Zelda's The Legend of Zelda theme song, I think, is the full name. But anyway, I'm just gonna assign it to its own mixer track. So I'm right click here, little button, and hell. Click right here, assign a free mixer track. Jesus Christ, I don't know why that was so hard for me. Anyway, so now that's on track 2, let's go ahead and we'll add a chorus to it just to give it a little bit of a different sound. It's a little bit too much. Let me go ahead and lower this a little bit. Alright, that sounded pretty good. So we got the chorus in there, and then I'm going to add a tiny bit of delay to it. We'll use delay 2. And I'm just going to turn this down to about 5%, as you can see in the top left corner. If it's too much delay, it'll make it sound, you know, kind of shitty, but we'll just go from here. Alright, sounded pretty good. So I'm just going to keep playing this right now. I'm going to start assigning everything to its own track while it's playing, so you know, enjoy this, what it has become so far. Alright, so what I'm doing here on the kick right now is I'm just taking out some of the highs, so just some unneeded bleed. We don't need any of the bleed frequencies from there, because you can't really hear them anyway. What I'm doing is I'm cutting a little bit off the low bass, because I do plan on adding a sub bass here in a sec, or in a moment. I don't know when I'm going to add it in, but I'll add it in here eventually. But I'm just going to cut some of this down a little bit. You can sidechain it, but I don't know, sidechaining is kind of finicky for me, and I'm actually not very good at it, but you know, maybe I'll show you one day how I sidechain, and I don't use it that often, but when I do use it, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You just kind of have to mess around with it until it does. But what sidechaining is technically what happens is every time the kick comes in, the bass lowers its dB, and then the kick comes in, and then the second the kick is done, the kick sound wave ends, the bass comes back. You know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna sidechain it. We're gonna sidechain. Oh god, I hope this works. Oh god, I hope this works. So we're gonna use a sub bass then. Just my typical go-to. Let's see, citrus right here, and then we're gonna go with sub bass. Sub bass 1. There we go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make it in here first to make it its own pattern, but for now, I gotta kind of match out the sound of the song. A sharp. That sounds really off. What the really is? Sounds off still, huh? Let's do this. Oh, maybe it is just in C. Oh, I thought it wasn't for some reason. Alright, so, man, I am not good at sidechaining. I don't know why, it just never works the way I want it to, but we'll go ahead and give this a shot. So I'm gonna go here, assign this a free mixer track. So here's my kick, here's my sub bass. We're gonna sidechain the sub bass to the kick, I think is how it works. Right here, what you do is you right click here, sidechain to this track. I think that's it. So I'm gonna go to this kick right now, and then I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna put in the limiter, the fruity limiter. So from here we have a compression button. So click that, sidechain 1. So what happens is we should now be able to see both sound waves on this, and let's go ahead and see it. Nope, do not see anything at all. But go ahead. So what I'm gonna do here, is I'm gonna change the threshold, and what this will do is this actually determines sound wave authority, I guess. I don't know what the specific term is, but oh wait, maybe it's working because it's being. Oh wait, maybe it's just. Oh, okay, wait, I know what's going on here. So basically what's happening is, since the bass is sidechaining to the kick, basically the kick is being lowered so that the bass can come in. That's not the order I wanted to do it in, so we're gonna go like this. I'm gonna, oh shit. So make sure you have the sub bass selected on the MIDI. Click that little button, turn it off. I'm gonna click on the kick, and then sidechain it to that instead. So basically now that the bass is being sidechained instead of the kick, hopefully. I noticed that when I do this in the wrong order, it kind of breaks sometimes, but let's see if it works this time. Alright, so yep, that's what sidechaining is. Sidechaining is actually a really popular method, especially used in techno a lot, because, you know, techno has really bassy and then really hard-hitting kicks, and have you ever wondered how they're able to have both those things at the same time and not, like, break the dB meters? That's actually how they do it, is usually they will sidechain it. So it just makes it so that when the kick comes in, the bass lowers. So, let's try this. What is that? Fantastic! I did it, guys! I fucking did it! Holy shit, I haven't sidechained in such a long time, but I did it. So let me show you what's going on here. So basically right here, you see these little meters right here? That's actually the kick. And as you can see, when the kick comes in, this is the bass right here. That little purple means that that's the sound that's being decreased so that the kick can come in. So you'll see it right here. Have someone come in, shop player, my nigga Cody. Damn, that's an introduction. Thanks for joining the show, man. But thanks for joining in. Let me know if you want me to change anything. I'm sampling some Zelda right now. Let me know if you want anything to change. Right now, I'm sidechaining a kick to a bass, and what that means is every time the bass comes in, it lowers so that the kick can come in and take its spot. But I'm gonna lower the threshold a tiny bit more. Sa player. Sa player says excellent beat. Thanks, man. I'm glad you really like it. Right now, since it's almost E3 next week, which is I guess one of the biggest entertainment expos for gaming. Generally, coming up next week, I decided to sample a Legend of Zelda song. Alright, so one thing actually about this is the sample's not standing out very much, so there's a couple ways you can do this. You can actually put in a Maximus right here, and we can just basically manually set the waves from the mid, the high, and the lows. But I'm actually going to take the shortcut. I'm going to go with the sound goodizer, and then I'm going to go with A, setting A. There we go, and now the sample is actually standing out a bit more. It's kind of on its own sound sound frequency now, and with some boosted mid and a boosted low with a boosted high, so it sounds a lot more crisp, a lot more clear. Is that even in key? Okay, we're gonna keep that at C5 because I don't know, the rest of it just sounds kind of weird. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on its own track now. So I'm gonna cut that out, right click here, new pattern, we'll put that on its own track so that the drum pattern and the bass are separated, so I can just kind of change them at will. So let's go ahead and delete this again. Alright, so what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to actually add a little kick up just to give it a little bit more movement in the drums. Put it right here. Actually, we'll put that right there. So just a little double kick at the end. We'll see how that sounds. Oh, dang. Alright, cool. That actually sounds pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and what I do is lower here so the first kick just doesn't hit as hard as the second kick. It'll go pop up rather than pop up. Like, kind of like that. So we'll hear it again. Cool, sounds pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is, let's work on this hi-hat a tiny bit. So I kind of want the hi-hat to have a lot more movement, so what I'm going to do is going to fill up the whole thing like this. And then from here, I'm just going to change the velocity of every mid-hit, so it'll go tick, 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 tick. So it'll just go low, like this. Ooh, maybe that's a bit too much, but let's try this. Basically, maybe it is too fast after all, so yeah. That's a little bit too fast after all. 130 is too fast. So we'll go ahead and just turn this back to normal. But I do want to add some double hits in there, so we're gonna go ahead and try to add some double hits in there. So let's see, I think it would sound good right after the rim. So right there. We'll do that. There we go. So the kick is slightly detuned, or it's kind of out of an area, so I'm going to try lowering it a tune. There we go, that sounds a little bit better now. So now the kick, because the kick sounded a little bit off to me, so I lowered the note by one note, and you know, kind of put it back in a place that I prefer pretty frequently. I think this is actually best. I like A sharp. So that's the beginning of our sample. Let's go ahead and add a new section in, so keep the drums extended here. I'm going to try to add in a new section. We'll see how that sounds. So go here, right click up there, play new pattern, and we're going to go to our slice sample up here. So we'll go ahead and try that, see if that sounds okay. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click the select button right here and just kind of highlight only this section, so this is the only section I'm gonna be hearing. Alright, I'm not really sure I like that progression much. Let's go ahead and try this instead. Alright, so 29 hits pretty damn hard, and nothing really hits as hard as 29 does, because that's the beginning of the new note section. I'm pretty sure it replays itself. Let me see if I can find another part of the slice that replays itself without the clap. Well, the crash. So I want to keep the crash, but I'm going to see if I can find another one. 36, right there. Okay, so I like that, but I'm gonna save that for an end note. That's actually not bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and just select this. So select all of this, Control C, and then I'm gonna slide this over a little bit, Control V, just copy that over. Okay. And let's kind of make a different section after that. Sean Moody says, LOL, you just find it immediately? Haha. You laughed twice. I'm glad you thought it was funny. I don't know if I found it immediately, if you're talking about getting, like, you know, picking out the samples, but, yeah, I'm glad you think so. Lucky click. Bro, look at this right here. All it says is marker and then a number. Like, I literally just have to guess. But anyway, yeah, just guess in here and just clicking at it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is and then we'll go low into high. And then like that. Oh no, wait, this is only bar 3 though. We'll do it like this. Maybe that's it. That's the one I'm looking for. Let's find out. That's a pretty good kick up right there. So from there, let's go ahead and hear this from the beginning. Let's see what this sounds like starting from the beginning. Not bad at all. Alright, so basically from this little part here, because there's actually a pretty dramatic change in the sound, specifically in the sample itself, so right here. Oh. So from there, I think I'm gonna have to add a little bit more life to the drums. Now there's a couple ways you can do this. I could just throw in a sample, and maybe I will. Let's go ahead and see if I have a sample that might work. Specifically a drum sample, so maybe like, I don't know, a tambourine. Or some bongos. Those tend to be what I default to when it comes to drums because damn, I really like the way bongos sound. If you don't like bongos, well then I'm just gonna have to say sorry. Because I'm adding bongos. And maybe a tambourine. But we're gonna try the bongos first, so let's see. These are some of the samples I got. By the way, some of these samples, a lot of these samples I got from just looperman.org, so if you ever want to get some samples for some stuff, that's a good place to get some samples. If you do publish your beat, go ahead, let the creator know that you used it, because I mean that's the nice thing to do. I mean you don't have to since it's all royalty free, but you should, because it's not cool being a dick. Anyway, go ahead and see what we got here. That is not a bongo sample, but that is a guitar sample that I might use someday, so watch out for that. We'll go ahead and go with this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and lower the volume of that a tiny bit. And what I'm doing is, it's at auto, so this is actually might be really fast because the original tempo for this bongo is at 102 beats per minute. So basically, every 4 bars, it does 102 beats. So basically, it hits the main hit in every drum about 100 times. In 60 seconds, but I'm at 135, so that means 102, that means, you know, the number went up, so it's obviously gonna get faster. And so that's gonna warp the sound a little bit. So right here on this file itself, I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna do Pro Transient. So what that does is it actually changes the sound and changes the pitch so that it's back to its more default setting, so it doesn't sound all weird and clicky and high pitched. But it might be too fast, but we'll find out. Yeah, it is really fast. It just kind of throws off the rhythm a little bit. Let's see if we got a slower one here. Okay, that one's pretty slow. Let's go ahead and try that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just literally just going to drag it and put it on top of the other one. Because what happens is, it seems like this sample I hear, it actually already matches my bars. So regardless of the tempo, it just matches my full bars to where it should be. So we'll see how that sounds. God damn. No, that didn't work. Let's see, let's go to the next one. Okay. No bongos then. My tempo is just not at the right speed. It's not gonna work. Unless I'm making a really, really fast song, but I'm not, so... Okay, so that's a tambourine. Let's go ahead and see how that works. Oh, wow, the tambourine is actually faster than my beat. So as you can see, I dragged it in directly and dropped it on here rather than put it up here. So what that did is it kind of puts its natural beat. So that means it's probably at around 140. So I'm going to go ahead and click here, drag the time over, and then match it to my bars. So it'll actually slow down a little bit. And of course, I'm going to do Pro Transient again. Lower the volume on that a tiny bit. Sounds pretty awful, actually, so I'm taking that out. Let's see, what's another way I can add some life to the drums? Maybe I could use a ride. Let's use a ride hat. I'm gonna go up here. Because I have a huge collection of rides. Because, I don't know, I actually really like ride cymbals. But, let's see, let's go and pick a good one out. I don't really like those either. This one might be okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in there. Just that. But I will be right back. 1 second. 1 moment. Just go ahead and listen to the beat. Alright, I'm back, guys. So let's go ahead and work on this ride real quick. I think this one sounds pretty good right here. I already added it in. Let me see if I can see another one. Nope. I like that one too. So these rides were sampled from vinyls, at least that's what I was told when I got them. But we'll go ahead and do this one first because I kind of like the way this one sounds better. But because it's sampled from a vinyls, as you know, kind of had a different sound properties than modern music today. So what I have to do is I actually have to change the sound real quick, and it's better to use the mids for vinyl samples. I've found, at least personally, that's what I think. So I'm gonna add a tiny bit of reverb, put that up to 50%, and then I'm gonna throw in a parametric right here. I'm gonna cut out the lows, cut out the highs, and this is like really to the left for some reason. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna cheat this a little bit and pan this to the right to kind of move it more to the middle. So it's kind of a thinner sound, but yeah, whatever, it should be okay. So that should be fine. I don't mind it being a little bit to the left, but too much to the left is, I don't know, too much to the left. So we're gonna go ahead and just do this like this. We'll do it on every 4 hit first and see how that sounds. So we'll go ahead and do that. Kind of add it in. And then I'm gonna select this part again just to play that part. So as you can see, this is the sound wave for that ride I just put in. I see there's no dark colors and there's no really deep spots. That means this is a really light sounding ride. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try to raise this a little bit and see how this sounds. Good God, that is super weak. I'm gonna move this back to 0. I'm gonna lower these down a little bit. Let's try putting a sound goodizer on instead. Maybe that'll help it out. I am not liking it because it's got a ringing sound, so let's go and try this one instead. Okay, I don't like that one either. Damn. Try that one. Does the sound there? That one actually sounds okay, but the thing is, it doesn't have enough sustain, so basically the sound is cutting out really quickly, and it leaves kind of this unpleasant gap in the sound. But I'm gonna go ahead and try this one instead that I added in earlier. Let's see, I need to check here. So I put it on mixer track 7. I'll go ahead and put this one on 7 too. See, that one also has a really unpleasant early cut, which is not really... well, it doesn't really sound good, so we're gonna try a different one instead. Force Pro Transient. I don't like that one either. Alright, so those rides are not working out. Let's go with one of the defaults that comes with FL Studio. We're gonna go with the... you go to Packs. This one comes. You go to Legacy. Legacy Drums. FPC, and then Cymbals. I'm gonna try that one. Set that one back to its default, but again, I'm gonna cut out some of the highs, because one thing that I don't like about rides is the way the highs sound. It's just, it's too sharp. So we're gonna... And also, since this one isn't like totally to the left, I'm gonna reset that. Take that to the left a tiny bit. So 20%. Alright, actually this one's okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click right here, time. So basically it's gonna comes down to you ride when I want you to ride. So that's what I'm setting up to be. So I'm just gonna make this a square. And then what I'm gonna do is send it to the piano roll like that. So now, one of the best things about slicing your samples is you can actually lay the slices over with each other, so I can actually add a little bit more to this. And I think I might want to, just to make it sound less thin. Go back to the beginning. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just trying to add more noise to this to make this section sound a little bit more fuller. Just to make it sound a little bit low. Oh, wow, that's why it sounds so weak. Turns out the velocity, basically how hard the note hits, is really, really low. Wow. Wow. I cannot believe I made a mistake like that. Well, that's okay, I'll just kind of raise them up then. I was wondering why that section sounded so goddamn weak. Good god. I was just like, huh, when the strings come in, it sounds pretty soft for some reason. That was my fault, apparently. But let's go ahead and try this again. So... Alright, and I guess I'm gonna call it a wrap there. I'm not exactly sure what else to go from here, but this is how you slice samples. So if you guys were watching from the beginning, you got to see the whole thing. If you want to see the difference again, you can go back and watch our previous video for when I sampled the Barbara Streisand song, and then you guys can go and see how I did that. And that's a different type of sampling. That's literally cutting out just a section of the sound. And this one is called slice sampling, as you can hear from, you know, the song. It's a bit different. Sometimes it works really well, sometimes it doesn't work as well, but you know, there's multiple ways to do it, because you know, sometimes some sound better than the others, but you know, as you can see, it worked out pretty well on this beat. And again, guys, E3 is coming up. I'm really excited, and so, you know, hopefully I'm gonna watch that, see what's going on, and then, you know, kind of see what my games are all about. So this is my slice sampling of Zelda's theme from Twilight Princess. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned, and thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.